before we get started here, let's take a look at the rest of the Week 14 winners before we get started here. In the DHL European Tour, which the 7th race of the season was at the Mallard Speedway, Saeed Kumahari took his second consecutive victory at the Speedway in dominating fashion. In the Modified Tours and the All-American Series, both of them were at Irwindale Speedway. Dan Morris took the checker flag in a completely uneventful race, leading the good chunk of that race. And the All-American Series event, Toby Wilson in car number 15 had led 75 of 75 laps en route to his second consecutive victory in the Freightliner All-American Series. The NOVAR Kelloggs Series, all four of their divisions are at the halfway point of the season. Each race will be, this is the 5th race of the season for each division. The Northeast Division will be running at the Grand Detour Raceway in Quincy, Illinois. The Northwest will be running at the Mallard Speedway at Mallard, Oregon. The Southwest Division will be tackling the Salt Lake City Speedway in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then the Southeast Division will be racing in Martinsville, Virginia. We'll begin this coverage with the Grand Detour race, the Kelloggs Northeast Division event. Winning the pole award here for the Grand Detour race is Luke Haverton in car number 49. Frank Kelly in the 6 is right behind, as Greg Clarence in the 98 did not get a good start. Frank Kelly in the 6 would immediately challenge the 49 of Haverton. However, as you see going into turn number 3, just like with the Cup cars, the outside is the preferred line to go, although Kelly still is side by side with Haverton. As they come to the line, it appears that Haverton will lead the first lap. However, we would have our first incident. I see the Arthur Benjamin in car number 129, the 236 of Devin Jennings, and Jimmy Carroll in car number 95 also collected. I believe the 101 of Mike Morgan was also collected. There you saw more smoke. Brandon Yumilson in car number 119 would also get a piece of that. He would hit the wall there in the middle of turn 3 and 4. Michael Duncan in car number 587 would lead on the restart. However, we had another incident, this time with Blaze Regan hits the pit wall hard as he would go out of the race in car number 234 for Blaze Regan. Duncan led on that restart. However, Greg Clarence in car number 98 would immediately challenge for the lead, with Frank Kelly in car number 6 following behind, and Alan Simmons in the number 4 following behind the 6. Clarence in the 98 would immediately take the lead and would lead this lap as we would have another incident. We would have another caution. Matt Turner in car number 44 gets turned sideways and then hits the pit wall hard. Jimmy Carroll, who was involved in a couple of cautions earlier ago, he leads the field on this restart with 236 of Devin Jennings. However, Greg Clarence would get back in the lead until he plowed himself into the back of the 011 of Randy McKendry. The 98 would continue on going as a result of that damage, although the 169 of Joseph Bolden would lead on this restart. Frank Kelly in car number 6 would be in second. However, he would eventually take the lead, followed by his teammate, two-time defending division and national champion Cody Preston in car number 5. Preston has actually been, like the past 2 years, has been impressive. However, he is only sitting third in the points. However, there's still time to make up. We would have another caution. Howard Rogers in car number 019 would get spun down the back straightaway. The 019 would spin into the wall. There you see Frank Kelly in the 6 would lead on this restart with Cody Preston in car number 5. Preston immediately making a challenge under that 6 car of Kelly, as Preston would try to get to the bottom. However, the 6 of Kelly would lead that lap. Preston would eventually take the lead away. However, their teammate Lester Conway would get involved in a wreck as he would get hit by Mike Morgan. That sends the 010 of Devon Walter. And Arthur Benjamin in 129 gets rolling down the track. Down the track he goes as the 129 would go out of the race. Cody Preston, I believe, led on the restart, but Frank Kelly and Luke Haverton would eventually go by. As we would have as the 011 of Randy McKendry would get involved, as Michaela Douglas would also get involved in that carnage. On the restart, we would have Frank Kelly leading on the restart with Luke Haverton in car number 49. As the race would progress, it would come down between the 6 of Kelly and the 49 of Luke Haverton. The final caution of the day would come about with just 6 laps to go. Kamina Scott in the 61 get turned around. Brandon Yumilson would spin and would become another victim of the pit wall. This would lead to a green-white shootout with Haverton in the lead of this race. As there you see Cody Preston in the 5 immediately goes under the 101 of Mike Morgan. Kelly, meanwhile, tries to go to the race lead under the bottom of the racetrack. As going down into turn number 3, Kelly's trying to punch it hard, but looks like the 49 of Luke Haverton has the line. And coming out on turn number 4, it's going to be a drag race. And the winner is Luke Haverton in car number 49. Just to save time in our race recaps, Luke Haverton wins the race. Frank Kelly in car number 6 gets a close second spot. Car number 6, Kelly was the strongest car of the entire race. Cody Preston in car number 5 finishes in the 3rd spot. He actually never really got a chance due to the fact that there was only one lap to deal with. As if Preston had more time, he would have likely won the race. Alice Wilson, car number 29, a very quiet one for car number 29 of Alice Wilson and Mallard Ford. And Travis Bentley in car number 169 finishes in the 5th spot. And now taking a look at our top 10 of the point standing, Luke Haverton in car number 49 is still with the point leader, but leading Grand Detour. Michael Duncan in car number 587 is second in points. He is 8 points back in the point leader. He had a good run here today. Cody Preston in car number 5 remains in the 3rd spot after finishing 3rd in today's race. He is 18 points back. Frank Kelly in car number 6 is 4th in the point standings. He is 20 points back. And Alice Wilson is 36 points back of the points leader. And keep in mind, in the Kelloggs series, a full race is 30 points. So the max points you can get is 33. So Wilson, if the this was the second to last race, Wilson will be eliminated from the championship contention, even though in the most known major leagues, such as the Trucks and the Verizon Cup Series, Wilson will still have a shot. And now, let's go pick up with the Kellogg's Northwest Division at Mallard Speedway. So winning the Aflac Pole Award for the Kellogg's Northwest Division race at Mallard is Jonathan Blaine in car number 36. Blaine actually was beat to the line by Sebastian Gonzalez in car number 807. However, Blaine in the 36 will get the preferred line in turns 1 and 2 and will clear the 807 in Gonzalez. So Jonathan Blaine comes out at turn number 2. The 56 of Mike Huckabee is following suit from the number 56 Pool 1 Dodge, and then right behind is the 57 of Ashley Connor. As they head out of turn number 4, looks like Blaine will continue to lead this race. He will lead the first lap of the race and will hold off a charge from Mike Huckabee in the 56. However, a few laps later, Chad Consteiner in car number 59 will then attempt to take the lead away from car number 36, being the first lead change of the race, with Mike Huckabee in car number 56 following behind in the 2nd spot. John Herbertson, your current points leader going into this weekend, is running just behind the 56 of Huckabee, with the 57 of Ashley Connor. The other Mobile One racing car, the 58 of Brian Howard, is stuck on the high side. As you can see, Mike Huckabee in the 56 will take over the lead of this race just a few laps in, with Herbertson in the 41 trying to challenge for second. However, there you see the 57 of Connor tries to open the door. However, John Herbertson shut the door. Herbertson, a former Gatorade Series driver, coming back down here to the Kelloggs Series to reprogress his skills, as Huckabee would continue to lead until John Sester in corner 589 would take the lead away, with Chad Consteiner trying to follow suit on the outside. Brian Howard in the 58 would try to follow that 59. However, it would not really work out, as looks like Consteiner will eventually take the lead away. Connor tries to get under the 58 of Howard. However, Brian Howard will hang on to the 2nd spot. Chad Consteiner would actually still lead until lap traffic came the way. That came in the 96 of Will Thompson and the 34 of that car is too hard to tell, as Consteiner would fall all the way back to the 26th spot as a result of it. However, as a result, it hands the lead to Sebastian Gonzalez, car number 807. Gonzalez currently running in the South Carolina Part-Timers Challenge, and will actually be running in the South Carolina Part-Timers Challenge race at KC in about the next week. Green flag pit stops will happen around with 20 laps to go, with Mike Huckabee in car number 56, who was leading at the time. He'll go into pit road. As the cycle stopped out, John Sester in car number 589 tried to stretch the field. He actually took over as the race leader. Sester would pit with about a few laps remaining, thus leaving the battle between Mike Huckabee and Adrian Wilson in car number 50. Adrian Wilson will try to go to the bottom of the racetrack. Keep in mind, this actually is the final lap, by the way. As Wilson tries to go to the bottom of the racetrack, Wilson has help from Gonzalez and Consteiner. Huckabee has the preferred line coming to the front straightaway. And just like the Northeast race, they're going to be side by side, but this time it is Adrian Wilson in car number 50 taking the victory here at Mallard. Wilson beats Huckabee by 6/1000ths of a second. So Adrian Wilson beats Mike Huckabee by 6/1000ths of a second to take the victory here at Mallard Speedway. Mike Huckabee almost had a shot to win the race, possibly on the outside with no help. However, Wilson got the run on the bottom line just enough to beat that 56 to Huckabee. So tough break for Mike Huckabee there. Sebastian Gonzalez, car number 807, finishes in 3rd. That might be a good momentum booster for him to possibly qualify into the KC Duels, which they are running next week. Chad Consteiner, car number 59, might be a possible standby for Shane Harden, as Harden is currently being checked on for a possible bruised foot that he sustained at his crash in New Jersey. So there might be a possibility that Chad Consteiner might be on standby for the 59 at Shane Harden. But as for his race today, Chad Consteiner finished in the 4th spot, strong car for the 59 of Chad Consteiner. And rounding out the top 5 is Ashley Connor in car number 57. Leaving Mallard Speedway, John Herbertson in car number 41 leads the point standings. He has 136 points total. Chad Consteiner in the 59 is second at points. He is 2 points behind Herbertson in the 41. Jonathan Blaine, who finished 7th in today's race, he is 3rd in the point standings. 4th is Mike Huckabee, who came so close to winning this race. however, gets a second place finish here today. He is 20 points back in the 4th spot. And Katie Russo, who finished in this race in 9th, is 24 points back and rounds out the top 5. And now we're going to turn it over to the Kelloggs Southwest Division race at Salt Lake City. So the winning of the pole award for the Southwest Division race is Kenzie Jacobson, car number 604. The 603 of Carl Sheenson would be on the outside, as Jacobson and the 604 would get away on the start. Jonathan Davenport in the 09 is right behind in the 3rd spot. The 141 Colin Sorensen, your defending divisional champion, right there starting on the 3rd row on the inside. Jacobson would, in the 604, would get away and lead the first couple laps before Matt DeRuca and car number 602 took the lead away from Jacobson in the 604. However, DeRuca's teammate Carl Sheenson would then take the lead away a few laps later, as there you see the 603 of Sheenson. He will lead the field onto the plus hungry of a couple of Bulls racing cars. Jonathan Davenport in car number 9 would then take the lead away from the 603 of Carl Sheenson. Kenzie Jacobson would then eventually retake the lead back from that entire group, as Jacobson has just been practically the dominant car throughout the race, and this race would actually have no yellow flag whatsoever. In the closing stages of the race, Christopher Winslow in car number 91 would actually have a chance to possibly take the lead away from Jacobson and storm the win due to the fact that you see lap traffic up ahead. And despite even very close attempts at lap traffic and almost taking the lead on a few occasions, here's the battle for the lead. It wouldn't matter at all. Kenzie Jacobson would score his first win of the season here at Salt Lake City. So Kenzie Jacobson dominates this race. He led 42 of 60 laps en route to his victory. Christopher Winslow in car number 91 came very close to possibly taking the lead and the win away from Kenzie Jacobson. He finishes in the 2nd spot. Matt DeRuca, car number 602, who led early in this race, finishes in 3rd. Brody Jackson, a very quiet run for car number 19. He finishes in the 4th spot. And rounding out the top 5 is Carl Sheenson in car number 603. So as a result, Christopher Winslow becomes the new points leader. He gains a spot into the points lead and has the most points out of any 4 of the divisions, which are actually crucial when it comes to the starting grid for the championship race, as the division winner, as whoever earns the most points throughout the season in that particular division would start on the pole. Jonathan Davenport, the previous points leader, drops a spot. He is 4 points behind Christopher Winslow. Matt DeRuca in car number 602 will be 3rd in points. He is 9 points back. Carl Sheenson is 4th in points. He is 14 points back. And rounding out the top 5 is Brody Jackson in car number 19. He is 27 points back. And now let's head to the 4th and final race of our Kelloggs Tour for this week, is the Southeast Division race at Martinsville. Winning the pole award here at Martinsville would be Ryan Cloutier in car number 80. Keith Jesse Racing gets a 1-2-3 sweep with Roy Alden in the 83 in 2nd, and Tony Clements in car number 82 is in 3rd. As they head into turn number 1, Roy Alden actually hits the inside wall off of turn number 2. As the 81 of Ryan Cloutier will get away, Tony Clements in the 82 gets in 2nd, and Roy Alden into the wall. Several other cars would get into the wall as well. Keith Jesse, the other Keith Jesse racing car, would get involved in our first caution very early in the race. Corey Lawyers, Bobby Henderson are also collected as well. Roy Alden, meanwhile, would actually have his own bad luck, and he actually gets turned into the front straightaway wall. Several close calls. The 112 of Gregory Barnhart nearly got a piece of that as well. On the restart, Tony Clements in car number 82 led on the restart with Douglas Anderson in car number 90 in 2nd. Cole Brayson in the 48 is in 3rd. We would have another caution. Sean Parker for Silverton Racing gets himself turned in front of the field, as this would stack up the whole field, as this was one of maybe many cautions throughout this race. Kind of a trend that's been unusual. Tony Clements would lead on the restart. However, Cole Brayson in the 48 would immediately challenge for the lead of this race. Brayson would then take the lead away in the 48, the very similar paint scheme to how MJ Alloway ran in the 2011 season. The 82 would slow up, and so you saw caution lights there. We would have another yellow while that was happening, as Bobby Henderson in car number 78 gets turned by Sean Parker. As 78 sideways, Brent Hankson in the 33, nowhere to go. And Roy James in the 204 also had a nowhere to go in those accidents. Cole Brayson led on the restart with Joseph Olson in car number 333. Devin Hamlin in the 28 trying to get under there. Olson wouldn't get involved in a wreck. There you see the 332 of Jeffrey Hildebrandt will also get a piece of that as well. The 333 would continue on going, as you see the pileup on the front straightaway continues on. As Cole Brayson led on the restart, but Allison Beltran and Devin Hamlin actually have a battle for the lead. However, that was settled out as Devin Hamlin's overran the corner. Devin Hamlin and then Douglas Henderson and Hal Wilson Racing teammates are battling out for second. Cole Brayson in the 48 is trying to get into the mix as well, as near contact between teammates. However, there was caution out as Paulo Wasserman in car number 955 gets turned around by Matthew Middleton. Middleton, who comes in this weekend second in the point standings, gets a piece of that as well. Justin Williamson and Jennifer Benitha get involved in another accident. However, we had a long green flag run on another accident between Keith Jesse gets turned around. There you see the 77 of Drew Shonston also got a piece of that as well. On the later stages of the races, the 82 of Tony Clements actually got a piece, and that as a result, Douglas Anderson in the 90s stole the lead away. However, with a few laps remaining, Devin Hamlin in the 28 would then take the lead away from the 90 of Douglas Anderson. And from this point on, it would be no turning back for Devin Hamlin. Devin Hamlin would come on and take the checkered flag here at the Southeast Division race here in Martinsville. So Devin Hamlin leads 5 laps to his victory here at Martinsville. Douglas Anderson then makes it a 1-2 finish for Howell Wilson Racing here at Martinsville. Tony Clements, the dominant car of the day, finishes in 3rd. However, that lap car, I believe it was Keith Rensley in the 6099, actually got on the way, and that caused him to win. Sean Parker in car number 32, despite having a very rough season for the Silverine Racing Developmental team, gets a well-needed finish in 4th. And Cole Brayson in car number 48 rounds out the top 5. And now let's take a look at your point standings. Devin Hamlin, as a result of his victory, and Matthew Middleton struggles. Middleton finished 13th in this race. The points lead expanded to 24 points, with Devin Hamlin leading with 136 points. Matthew Middleton at car number 12 is second in points, as I mentioned. He is 24 points back. Cole Brayson at car number 48 is third in the point standings, 26 points back. The 699 of Keith Brinsley is fourth in the point standings, 28 points back. And rounding out the top 5 in the point standings is Tony Clements in car number 82. For week number 15, all of the series that will be running next week, with the exception of the Gillette Dirt Series, will all be running at Casey. For the Verizon Cup, it's the duels at Casey. While for the Gatorade Trucks and Aero Series, it is the 9th race of the season for the Gatorade Truck Series and the 6th race of the season for the Aero Series. The Gillette Dirt Series will return to the track at the Fulton Speedway. We'll see you for the Casey Duels for the Verizon Cup Series.